I happened to be up here in Toronto, getting ready to direct a feature film, and I found out when I arrived that I'm about 25 minutes away from Corey Haim's grave. So I wanted to come and visit. And, it's definitely one of those experiences that's, it's overwhelming, it's emotional. A lot of time has passed since we lost Corey Haim, but it's still something that resonates, I think, with everybody. You could definitely feel the loss.
Hi! Ryan Herzl.
Corey Feldman. Good to see you, man. How's it going? How are you?
This is Corey Haim.
So nice to meet you, man. How's it going?
Good.
When Feldman and Corey Haim got the show, The Two Coreys, that was just a validation of a desire I had, which was to get the Coreys back in a movie. And it's called The Line. And we get to meet the crazy characters in The Line, and you two play, you're Timothy and you're Jack. I had heard all the rumors and, knew all the stories and, all the run-ins he had with the law, and I was just like, is he going to be okay to be able to do this? Is he going to be okay to be able to do the show? Is he going to be okay to be the guy that I remember being opposite Feldman in these movies? And he was terrific. He was great. I saw him 2 other times after that experience. This was in 2010. We have a discussion about what the sequel to License to Drive would look like. Haim starts talking about how he had this idea for License to Fly. And he starts talking about that. And I'm like, this is awesome. I love how he's here. He wants to do this. This is great. Not too long after, Haim delivered a treatment. Horrible grammatical mistakes. Spelling was terrible. There was an airplane on the cover of the treatment under the words License to Fly. And I got to tell you, the treatment was great. It was great.
That's the biggest pain, is that he's not here now. Because I really do miss him. I genuinely do. I think that he's just an amazing guy.
He was just a really nice guy, really sweet guy, and also fun-loving. He loved to have a good time, and he laughed, and he made everybody laugh. And
he was such a goofball. He really was. He was like a kid, trapped in a man's body. He just was silly and free-spirited, too.
Jen, that's right. Uncle Corey, hi, buddy. Love you.
Overall, he treated me like a son. Haim was like a second dad. He cared for me like my dad. He I don't know, it's hard to talk about because he was a really good person.
Haim was definitely like a member of the family for us. We'd all hang out a lot, and we'd do a lot of fun things together. When I was a kid, I remember kind of just looking at their relationship as kind of like our 2 older brothers who just loved to just go at each other, and they had a very fun relationship. They're always cracking jokes, talking shit. Can I say that?
Corey Haim, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Haim.
Hi.
That was you. No, the hair got long.
It was a weird fashion choice. I got really short, chopped up hair, and then this one long piece. And I see Corey the next day or 2 days later. He's like, "What's up with the hair, man? I like it. I think it's really dope." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah. I mean, for real, out of all the things you've ever done, that is your signature, bro. You should keep that." And I was like, "Interesting. All right, well, maybe I will." And then he died shortly after that. So I think there's something in this that I've always felt, this connection to him. I think that this represents finding justice for him in some way. And I feel like when I feel like I've done my job, then I'll cut it off. I get a message from my phone machine one day, and Robin had been telling me, "Oh, this boy Corey, he's so cute." I'm like, "Well, thanks. It's about time you noticed." And she's like, "No, not you. No, this other guy, Corey. And, he's in all the teen magazines. He's right next to you all the time. You don't see him?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean there's another guy and he spells his name the same and everything? What's going on here?" And he was kind of growing. He was becoming a thing. And at first I was very who is this kid? Who's this kid moving into town? He's moving in on my girl. He's moving in on my job. What's going on here? And then one day when we were in the casting for Lost Boys, Joel Schumacher says, he's on the phone with a friend. He's like, "Oh my God, this is going to be an amazing movie. I've got the two Coreys in it." I said, "What? What two Coreys?"
The two Coreys defined the buddy movies of the 80s. Lost Boys, Dream a Little Dream, License to Drive. Even the song Get Out of My Dreams from License to Drive was ingrained into our pop culture because of their popularity.
Second, he's in the movie with me. This is Corey Haim. He was in Lost Boys, and he was in the movie License to Drive, which is coming out in August. And we're doing that movie together, too. Yep. This is my best friend. His name is Dinger in the movie.
Well, they were the best of friends, man. It was like watching twins. I mean, there was just a synergy that you didn't find with actors in Hollywood. At least I didn't.
The impression I got was there was this father-son dynamic there. Corey was very fatherly to Haim.
Yeah, no, they were best friends forever. I mean, that was apparent. In my opinion, they grew up with similar backgrounds, obviously. Got a lot early. Got fame, fortune early. So they had that common bond. That probably had a lot to do with it, But they were also just friggin' kids.
When I was a little kid in the grocery mart, I remember looking at the newsstands and I would think, God, I want to be on those teen magazines so bad. And then next thing you know, fast forward, here I am on the cover of Teen Beat, Bob, 16, like all of them, Tiger Beat, whatever.
I feel particularly lucky that before any of it, I was there. I saw the beginning, right? I mean, I was on Lost Boys with them. That's where it all started. This, Corey's thing, it didn't exist before Lost Boys. And I was right there, front and center.
John Hughes came along and showed that kids could have these rich stories and you could hang 90 minutes on a child. What? And that timing to come along in the 80s when kids' stories are being told, and then to find something that works, a pairing of two Coreys, was like the Beatles. Fans dug it up.
I grew up in the 80s, and there was something about duos in film that have a chemistry, that have, this a brotherly kind of banter, that have comedic timing. It's not that prevalent, and I really felt there's a reason why the two Coreys became the phenomenon that it did.
Yeah, and these boys were the biggest in Hollywood. They took over. Nobody could top them. Everybody wanted to be them. Everybody wanted to be around them.